What's up, everybody? Welcome to Life is Cooler with AC. I'm your host, Alex Cunningham. Today, we are trying a little Angel's Envy, which is, I don't know if it's delicious.
You haven't tried it yet?
No, let's try it.
Oh, it's good. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah, well, no, that's fine.
Fuck
Fucked it up.
It is actually really good. Thanks. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Chris Dickson. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Chris brought me this Angel's Envy because he said I have the lips of an angel. I'm still trying to figure out what that means.
And I'm envious. So, you know.
See, it's perfect. Chris is actually a really good friend of mine, not only because he's a very funny comedian, but also because he's a great magician. And I've always been into...
Alex loves magic.
Yeah. I've always been like, wow, can you make me taller? And he's still working on that trick.
Going for the low-hanging fruit already.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, did you get that shirt at Build-A-Bear? Is that...
Wow, what a dick.
Hey, I gotta get them where I can too, you know? Might as well get the short shit out of the way.
So, did you ever think that you were going to do comedy?
Yeah. So I was classically trained as an actor. That's where my beginning came up.
That's the most bougie shit I'm classically.
I was classically. It was a lot of Shakespeare, you know. It was actually a lot of Shakespeare, and the Shakespeare company I was working for had a children's theater as well. So we would do these like Looney Tunes spoofs of children's shows. So it was really zany and wacky, and it let me do a lot of characters. At the time, I did like maybe 30 different celebrity impressions, and I'd integrate those into the different shows and things like that. And I figured if you can keep the adults laughing, because they're the ones that are paying the tickets for the kids,
right?
They'll keep bringing the kids.
Okay, yeah.
So it's kind of like the Muppets, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's adult humor, kind of, but you know it's really geared towards children.
Uh-huh.
So I was working on a lot of characters and started getting cast on a bunch of stuff, and moved to New York and was doing magic during the day in Washington Square Park and Times Square, so I could make money to go do open mics as a magician at night.
Okay.
Because I was like, well, this is how I'm going to make my money.
Right.
And I got really well known in the magic world, and that's like having like a #1 best-selling ebook. You know,
right,
nobody gives a shit. They're like, oh, cool, it's a very small niche.
Right.
But I always wanted to like, you know, again, try comedy. You know, just get up there and drop the magic bullshit.
Yeah.
And do comedy. But back then, like, I just didn't know how to live on my own in New York. And then met a girl. We moved to L.A. together. And
okay.
Just, you know, I always needed somebody else to kind of help me along.
Right.
But now I'm at that point in my life where I was like, all right, so today is actually my 4-month anniversary from doing my first open mic at Corky's.
Wow, well,
which was my first stand-up set ever.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
First off, fuck you, because the first time you did that mic, you were like, this is my first time doing comedy, and everybody was like, this dude's a fucking liar.
Yeah, Wonder Kid is a weird word to hear, you know, meteoric rise, that's really difficult to deal with. I'm sorry.
No, you're just like, you came out fucking swinging. I remember that first set that you did. It was your Bible bit.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. And like it was so good, so thought out,
man.
that we were just like, there's no way this is his first time.
No, it was.
On
I
stage.
saw Lando and Mike Hudat do a show on Saturday night, that Saturday before, and I was like, and nothing against those guys, I fucking love those guys,
right?
But I was like, I can do that. Like,
right,
I want to do that, and I'm not saying that I felt like I could, because I know there's people that are like, oh yeah, they do that. Like, I did an open mic on Monday, and there was a bunch of rappers. They come and they do rap,
right?
But in the beginning, they're like, well, we want to do some stand up too, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking rap, you know?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna pretend I can do your thing.
Yeah, do
but
what you're good at.
Yeah, I was like, I think I want to try that. So that Sunday, I wrote that bit, and I was like, well, I'll just practice it all week.
Yeah,
and then do it on Wednesday. Why not?
Yeah, no, because I know that me and Philly and like all these guys, you know, we're like, nah, there's no way. But then we found out that you were a magician, and we're like, all right, well, he's been on stage,
right? And that's
the
big thing. I mean, I see guys out there that like they write killer, and you can tell they know how to structure. They cut the fat out of stuff. They know how to write the sentences, but they're still getting their legs,
right?
Their sea legs. Sure. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that'll come in time. I got that shit out of the way, which is cool, but I still don't know what to say yet.
Yeah, see, but I think so. People tell me that all the time. You know, that they're like, wow, your energy's so great. And I'm like, that's great, but like, what about the writing?
Right.
You know, and like, I had never really seen it from an outside perspective before until I met you. And I was like, not that I don't think that your writing is good. That's not what I mean. but I don't like religious jokes.
Sure.
I don't like.
I'm not religious at all.
Right? Yeah. But
at all.
So
I don't know why. I have no idea why I wrote that. None. It all started with you can't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad. And I wrote 5 minutes just to get to that.
Really? See, and like that's awesome. And I think that's where writing comes from. But I was just like, if anybody else was saying this shit, I'd be like, nah, I'm done. You know, but you were just like, you said it with such like emotion behind it.
Well, there's I'm realizing it's a crutch, right? Like it's a double-edged sword. Being really articulate on stage and animated, people are going to look at you and pay attention, even if they don't know what's going on.
Correct.
So if the room's quiet, they're going to look. You naturally get drawn to it. And that'll buy you a few seconds.
For sure.
But you got to keep them there, too.
Absolutely.
And you can't rely on that, and I totally am. Yeah. I totally am. That's why I don't talk about anything personal. It's all character stuff.
But we just talked about that, though. That it's okay to talk about personal stuff, but it's okay to not talk about personal stuff. What you need to talk about is just shit that people want to listen to.
Well, and that's the thing. There's an audience, right? They're there. Why are they there? Why are they listening to you? Why are you there? Why are you talking to them?
Right.
But I always look at it like there's clowns. Like for music, I always feel like there's people that own instruments, people that play songs, and musicians. And with comedians, it's like there's clowns,
right?
There's entertainers, and then there's comedians,
correct,
which are like artists.
Yes, absolutely.
You're talking about shit that's making people think when they leave. Right now, I'm in the clown vein where it's like we're all gonna have some funny ha-has.
Right, absolutely.
You know, but. You were at the open mic at Corky's last Wednesday, right? This last week? Weird. It was weird.
Yeah,
it was a little weird.
Yeah, it was strange.
Yeah, and we have a show coming up the 17th, and Mycia introduced me like, you're gonna see this guy do the thing, and the thing he's going to be at the, and she kind of did like a promo for a show, and that was the night I decided to like do something completely different and just rant.
Right.
And I'm like, this is not what you guys are going to come and see.
Yeah, this isn't
at
the
all.
thing.
This isn't the thing, and this isn't the room, and it was just a weird energy anyway. And so I was like, well, I think I just lost a few customers for you guys. Because, you got to take those chances.
Well, you do, and because it is art, and it's like with magic, you practice your magic probably in your house, before you show anybody. You can't do that with comedy, really. You can't be like, wow, this is fucking hilarious. My cat laughs every time.
Right. You can't even do it with magic because, like, I know what's happening. Like, I used to do pickpocket magic where you try to steal things out of people's pockets. You need a person for that.
That's true, yeah.
Otherwise you're going to get caught. Same thing with comedy. I might think something's fucking hilarious, and I'll stick to it, and then I realize when you say it out loud, the audience just isn't, it's not funny.
Right,
you know?
Exactly.
And then they laugh at some one-liner that you said. Like you gave when we were sitting talking at the Brownwood show that we did that Friday, we were talking about the Tom Hanks Castaway bit. And you're like, oh yeah, that's a director's cut I'd like to see. And I threw it in at the end, and that got a laugh. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't have expected that.
Exactly, yeah. But I think that's the thing with comedy though, is that it's the natural things that happen in conversation that make people laugh. Well, that's what people like because it's natural. It's not you sitting in like in your fucking underwear, like writing something out for
like a serial killer writing a manifesto.
Exactly,
but it's exactly like that too.
It is to an extent, but it's a good mix of both. That's like the same night you're talking about. I went up there and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to talk about because I've been doing the same jokes for so long. You guys know every fucking joke. Like I'm not here for that. So I was like, I'm just gonna roast the two fucking audience members. And like I asked her if she was a prostitute and stuff, and like she loved it. Her husband
not so much.
Yeah,
but she did.
So
he was okay with it,
right?
But they definitely had a conversation on the way home.
Yeah, exactly. We're not gonna be back there.
Do you have to agree to a price that you charge for your prostitution? Really,
500. But and like so, I think that it does require taking. Relating back to that Brownwood show that we did together, where I was talking to that guy, the clip that I posted, where he has a beard and stuff, and I'm like, did you ride a motorcycle? And he's like, no. I was like, oh, is your license suspended? I see you're not drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
It's like you're taking a risk. Because
absolutely. It very well could be that.
Exactly.
I mean, you also took a risk when you called someone out for being a stalker. So, really, if you weren't in the risk-taking mood.
Yeah, well, but it is an art form, right? So
it is, and it's a risk. First of all, like, who are we? Why the hell are we up there?
Exactly.
What is so important that we have to say that somebody needs to be there for free or pay money? But I remember once I was doing a magic show, and it was comedy magic. I was doing my little funny ha-ha magic shit. And this guy came up to me afterwards. It was like right out of a Tennessee Williams play. He had like a disheveled suit, kind of untucked, tie undone. And you could tell he's been drinking. And he's like, thanks, man. I really needed that. And that was it. For like 2 seconds, there was nobody else in this world but me and him. He was laughing, forgot all about the bullshit that made him look the way he does, whatever reason he's going through. And we were just in a weird little relationship. And he appreciated it, let me know, but we just existed, and that's what I'm looking for, is just independent little moments, just to just to engage with somebody in a way
Exactly.
that's funny, even if it's dark shit, serious shit, sad shit, whatever.
Yeah, no, and like I tell people that all the time, you know, is that like the reason why I get so personal, like I don't know if I talked about this on here yet, but I was just in the newspaper in my hometown for the benefit show that I was doing. And the paper reached out to me, and they're like, "We'd like to do an article on you because you're headlining this show, you know, and it's a great benefit." So whenever I did it, the reporter, he asked me, like, why do you do, because he watched a lot of my clips, and he was like, why do you do such personal things? And I was like, I'm going to be honest with you, you know, whenever I talk about, you know, like my mom being on meth, my aunt being on meth, like in the Midwest, a lot of people have people that are on
absolutely.
meth, you know, so it's
relatable.
like, and not that it's like, oh, well, I'm just trying to make fun of these people that have a problem. It's like, no, I'm trying to make the people who are dealing with this problem, you know, and maybe not, it's not their addiction, but it's somebody they know. It's like, you're not alone.
Yeah, it's a comfortable place to exist for them.
Exactly.
You know?
And if you can make light of the situation and bring light to the situation, then you're doing
and also
your job.
You're showing that it's not controlling you. You're in control of it.
Exactly.
Because you are taking the conversation. You're taking command of the narrative instead of making the narrative take control of you.
Right.
And a lot of the times people get controlled by those narratives.
Correct.
So showing them that, like, hey, that's not the only option you got.
Yeah, exactly. You know? And even if it's for, you know,
like,
like
cry.
We might.
We're gonna cry, bro. This is good shit.
It's 12 and it's 12 in the afternoon, and I'm drinking bourbon. God damn it.
Oh man.
But no, like, like that's what I love about this podcast, though. Like, for real, is that like I think a lot of people get on here and they're like, oh, they're comedians, they're gonna be funny the whole fucking time. It's like, no, like we deal with shit just like everybody else, and like we have the same fucking thoughts as everyone else. We just talk about them. You know, that's the difference.
And you know, they say public speaking is the number one fear in America. You know, like a lot of people just can't get up on. We don't have that. So, you know, somebody, I don't know if it was you, somebody mentioned this is why I don't go to therapy. Therapy's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. You know, we're just working our stuff out on stage in a way that's digestible to us, so we don't lose our fucking minds.
Right. Exactly.
And if you're there sitting in the audience, you might be working through it too, and you're laughing about it as well. If you laugh at my pain and it's the same pain you have, guess what? You're laughing at your pain too.
Exactly.
And that's all right.
Yeah, and it makes it copable.
Right,
you know,
absolutely.
Because you realize that like you're not alone in this scenario. So, and I know a lot of people, you know, especially because like both my parents killed themselves and stuff, you know, and when you're in that sort of situation, a lot of times you feel isolated.
Sure.
You know, so it's like I was just reading, totally off topic, but I was just reading Christopher Reeve, his autobiography after he fell and broke his back and you know everything.
I heard he had a ghostwriter.
Well, I think he talked into them. Yeah.
Under the spoon. I'm sorry. Such a Superman.
I love Superman, so fuck you.
So do I. Sorry, that was just an easy joke. I'm sorry, Christopher Reeve's ghost.
You see it?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is nice. Did you get that on a boardwalk somewhere? Is
that Chris actually did it with his mouth before he died. What a dick.
Sorry, Christopher Reeve's book.
So he when he died, I think his son was like 12, and then his wife died like 2 years later of cancer. So his son was like 14 and like parentless, and I was like, wow, what a tough thing to go through. And then I was like, wait a minute, I went through that. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And so like you do forget, you know, because it is so isolating when you have such a strange situation. I'm not talking it's always your parents dying, but
sure,
you know, but whatever your situation
whatever
is.
The most traumatic thing in your life is for your upbringing.
Exactly.
You know? I think that's why I hide behind characters, whether I'm going to play Jesus and Joseph or Hitler or Castaway or Tom Hanks or whatever, because it's like I've scratched off the first 3 things on a scratch-off ticket, but if I don't scratch off the last one, it's neither a winner nor a loser. It's like Schrodinger's lottery ticket, and I know that if I scratch off this piece, it's going to go fucking deep.
Right,
like
absolutely.
I'm really delving in. Like, did you get comfortable delving into your psyche? Like, did you have to make a conscious choice to be like, I'm going to delve into this part of my psyche? Or was it just always something that you were naturally trying to make light of to cope with?
I think it was natural because like through high school, there were always situations, you know, where I'd be like, call my parents, you know, like if I'm in trouble, you know, and like, oh, but you can't, you know, and then like just I've always been really good at, you know, hiding behind the comedy, you know, but I think, you know, some people call it hiding behind, but I call it coping, you know what I mean? Absolutely. So it's like it's the same thing because you're talking about it, but you're not talking about it in a way that like makes you want to cry. You're talking about it in a way that's like, it's not so bad.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It's definitely coping. Yeah. I'm afraid to scratch that last box because I'm like, once I go into this, not only will my attitude on stage probably change, my persona might change, what I show might change, and then it's not necessarily it's going to be under my control, but I got to give into it a little bit more. It's going to be really cathartic, but it's also you got to go to that place.
You do, and I think like worrying about like personas and all of that stuff. Like it makes sense to you, but to nobody gives a fuck.
No, true. That said, though, I did just get up and do a rant that I genuinely believed most of the shit that I said, and I feel like I was more distant from my audience than if I went up and performed a skit that I produced in my mind, that I knew where the commas were, I knew where the jokes were, the punchlines were designed for this, and I brought them in. When you bring them in, it's not pandering necessarily, but you know the formula to get them to pay attention.
Yeah.
When you're just doing the rant stuff, or I'm putting stuff out there that's real, it's up to them. And the rejection, I think, is the biggest fear.
And that makes sense, but you got to remember that just because you're ranting about something different, something that is different from just random thoughts that you've had, the formula is still the same.
True. Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely nuances that have to be paid attention to. There's still punchlines in there. There's still things to make light of and satirize. But it's one of those things like, okay, so if I tell this to somebody and they don't accept it, that's one thing. If I tell this to somebody as a joke and not only do they not accept it, but they don't laugh, well, now I actually feel bad about this shit. You know what I mean? It's just more risky, I think, because you're putting your heart on your sleeve.
It is.
Wearing this mask.
But so I'm gonna did you hear my dead mom joke that I've been working on recently?
Yep.
Yeah. So like that one always splits a room, right?
Yep.
And it's a real situation. My mom hung herself, and like all of this stuff is real. And it's like, you're gonna laugh or you're not gonna laugh. There's one or two things that's gonna happen. It's not a mystery. Like we know the outcome.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, does it change the fact that my mom hung herself? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Does it change the way that I cope with it? Absolutely not. The only thing that changes is you. I don't change at all.
Right. And I mean, you do an interesting thing where you set things up, not only the topic, but who you are, so that you're likable. They're on your side already. That would be a tough opener. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. But which I used to.
And that's, you get them already on your side. And that's something I need to explore, is timing of being able to, bring people into that place.
Right.
And then also just give them a window to it. Like, this isn't where we're going to live.
Right.
We're also going to joke about funny haha shit.
Yeah.
But also
we're going to pass through
We're going to pass through it.
Yeah.
Until you get comfortable enough with me and I get comfortable enough with you, like a symbiotic relationship that we can, you find an audience, or you find people that like your stuff or whatever. Yeah. See, yeah, that's interesting.
But it's tough because right now you're playing the open mic scene, right?
Sure.
And so that when we did that show the other day, you had 15 minutes to play, and it's a lot different, because once you have that time and you have an audience that it's not just a bunch of comedians sitting in a room, not giving a fuck.
Right.
It's like you feel like you can breathe a little bit more, and you have that time where you're like, I'm going to put my more risky shit right in the middle.
I also don't feel as guilty doing the shit that I know. When I'm doing it for open mics and I see all the same faces out there, it's been dual sorted, because I've been like, I need to write new shit so these people aren't hearing the same shit all the time.
Exactly.
But also I need to work this same shit all the time so that it gets better. I feel bad for you guys listening to this same premise, same joke every week.
Yep.
But doing it in an audience, that's where everything's new. It's all new
for
to them,
sure. Yeah, and that's that double-edged sword, with the open mics. Because my wife, whenever we went into this last week, she was like, "I want you to work on like a chunk of your 30 that you're working on right now." And I was like, "All right," because I'm tweaking some shit here and there. But when I got up there, I was like, I don't feel like it, I don't feel like telling these same fucking people the same things. And, it's nothing against the people, because you're not there for them. You're there for you.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, if I'm not believing in it, then it doesn't make sense, you know? So it's like, it has to be fresh for me too, It's still good.
Right on.
Nice. It goes to sleep. We film on a MacBook. A lot of people have fancy cameras. We don't. Okay. So
I just went to sleep. I just want to make sure. I was like, shit, is the next 40 minutes of what we're going to say?
Whose name's on it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even my computer.
But I mean, but that's the thing though. Like when so Wednesday was a dead fucking room. It was weird. It was a weird room.
Yeah.
And I got out, and this one guy was like, man, it doesn't matter who's out there. Your energy's still the same. And I'm like, yeah, because it's not for them. They just happen to be there.
Right.
If I can bring them in, if I can bring them in and they like it, cool.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pump my fist and be active or whatever, whether nobody's watching, because it's better than doing it in my bedroom.
Exactly.
And that's what I was doing before I got here.
Right. And that's what's so funny. So coming up in high school and stuff, people used to always ask me, what drugs are you on? And, I've never done any drugs.
Same.
And I used to always be like, I'm fucking high on life, man. I have a good time,
Like a youth pastor.
Right, yeah, exactly. Come on now, brother. So it's I enjoy the things that I do, and if I didn't enjoy them, I wouldn't fucking do them, because this is, at the end of the day, especially with my parents, they both made it to 31 before they ended their lives.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very small fraction of time.
Oh, yeah.
So it's to me, all I know is 31 years, so it's that's a small lifespan. So if that's all that you get, you fucking enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's you don't have time to waste on just dumb shit. So that's why I'm always me, and I never pretend to be anything other than that.
Yeah. There's a weird thing being a survivor. So I survived a pipe bomb accident when I was 17 years old. I built my own pipe bomb with a friend.
Okay.
And we had an elaborate timer. It didn't go off and blah, blah. I cut it apart and it blew off in my face.
And where'd you say you were from again?
This is Pennsylvania. This is Pennsylvania. It was a week before Columbine, which was weird because if it had been after that, boy, I would have been trench coat mafia.
Right,
you know
yeah.
I mean? But yeah, so
But you're the OG.
I was the OG. I set the standard, man. Ruby Ridge, this shit. But there's this dichotomy when you survive something that's traumatic, where it's okay, nothing can kill me now. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Exactly.
Be as reckless as possible.
Yep.
Or holy shit, every second is precious.
Right. You're going to go one of two ways.
One of two ways. Same thing when you don't grow up with money. You either save it because you never had it, or you spend it on things you never had.
Exactly.
And there's a responsible decision that you have to make. Same thing with 31, right? This is my goal. I made it. So now everything after that is not handed to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're living on borrowed time at that point.
And how old are you right now?
Exactly. So I don't ever. So all of my audience, everybody, they I don't say my how old I am or my birthday. So it's it's
like
just
a woman.
Exactly. It's physically and emotionally.
So they say I read somewhere that they said that the best way to appear ageless is to dress 10 years over your age. That way you're always growing into it, and it's kind of ambiguous. If you're older and you try to dress young, it's going to be obvious.
Right.
You know? Yeah, I don't know. I can't hide the gray that's in my beard.
Right. Well, see, what works for me is I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy all the time, and it doesn't matter. I've got, and it's funny because I've got band t-shirts from the 80s, and then I've got shirts, from bands that are modern. So people are like, you weren't even alive in the 80s.
Yeah,
and
you got
I'm
a bunch of Axl Rose stuff. I'm like, was he around during
right?
Use
Yeah,
Your Illusion?
Exactly.
If he was, then. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's kind of like that, I don't really know, but it's oh, you've got a huge picture of Chris Cornell. So was it a 90s thing? It's you have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so fun.
And he's pointing it out oh, this guy, that's Chris, from, I don't know if you know him, but Temple of the Dog, Soundgarden. Really? Oh, you mean one of the best vocalists ever? Is that what you're talking about
have
right
you ever
now?
heard of Audio Slave?
No, I'm sorry. Is that
Who are they?
Is that a podcast? That's all I listen to is comedy podcasts by you and your friends. Pretty sheltered fucking life. Same 7 episodes over and over.
Wow, I've got 11 now. Okay,
Do you really?
You're gonna be number 12,
dude. That's great.
Yeah,
this is great.
Well, and it's fun because not only do I get to talk to comedians, and it's just fun, I just have a good time. But I have plans for it, so how we do the alcohol and stuff. I'm asking people who should we try? What should we do? Because this is all unofficial. We're not actually brought to by these people.
No, I spent the money that I made at our Brownwood show on that bottle.
Yeah, well, thank you.
No, thank you. Because otherwise I'd be drinking this alone on a Friday at noon.
Right.
And you gave me a reason that made me feel okay about it.
Exactly. And before I continue what I was going to say, because what I'm about to say is very important, but this motherfucker wrote me last night and said it would be great to do the podcast tomorrow as long as we can do it around noon but before 2.
Yeah, that's 1. I was just
I'm like, what? That is the same time.
It's almost this. I was around lunch, before 2. I do realize that the average of that is 1.
Yeah. Just tell me at this point what time What time do you want to be?
I didn't want to be like, yeah, so I'm booked all the rest of the day. I can be there at noon. I wanted you to be like, how about noon? You know?
Right. So you're treating me like your girlfriend. Like if it's her idea, then it's a good idea.
Right, but I make it. It's my idea.
Right. You just make her believe.
Yeah, I fucking Leonardo DiCaprio that thing.
Yeah. No, but I caught it because I'm a man.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute now.
I also asked for a rider, and I don't see any of the stuff that I asked.
I let my wife take care of it,
cool.
so
all
that's
right.
on her.
We'll go to the green room.
Yeah,
for that stuff.
so we'll figure it out. He did ask for 2 dildos to be like double horns, so it's a weird fucking rider.
Yeah, it was a weird rider, but it's what it takes to make me feel comfortable on.
That's what it takes. It's weird because he got both dildos and he said, "Oh, trust me, they're being used as horns, but not double horns. They're like ram horns."
Yeah,
I'm
they're
like,
ram horns.
Where are they rammed at right now? He said, "Yes."
So how long have you been doing this? Not the podcast, comedy. Like when was your first? Like how long ago? So again, 4 months for me. What was your first open mic? How long ago was that?
Well, see, I didn't start at open mics. I started on shows.
It's like I was on child. I was a child actor.
Listen,
I was on Mr. Belvedere.
My classical training came from real shows. Okay,
how dare thou?
So when I was in Indiana, it was like 2015, so that was a long time ago. I did one show it was like a benefit show. Somebody needed an open heart surgery, and it was
it your Make-A-Wish?
No, I wish. It's like I just wish to be like Christopher Reeve's son.
I fucking hate horses.
So I did that show, and then I never did comedy again for like 4 years, and then I moved to LA to pursue acting and stuff like that. And then I was like, acting kind of sucks because you have to rely on other people. Audition.
That's exactly what I used to say. Like you have to have yeah.
It's like I get a lot of people don't understand, so we'll talk about it. So you have to. Let's jump back to the alcohol real quick.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
I'm
brought to you by Angel's Envy.
So what we want to do is we want to find local people, smaller companies that will sponsor each episode, so that way we can drink their alcohol. We can kind of talk about it, and then obviously do the same thing. But that way, it's like we're building local and with local. Anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, I would have if I'd have known that. I would have picked a really good like Texas bourbon or a Texas wine or something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, because you just said really good and Texas. And
right now, you sent me a picture of that brown sugar bourbon. It was on
which one?
I don't know. You tagged me on Instagram. It was like a brown sugar bourbon.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I have that. It's super good, but it's also really sweet. I can only drink it in coffee.
Well, I just saw that
it's like at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Well, it was like a cigar and bourbon bar.
Right.
That's what I was tagging.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, this looks good.
No. It was like in Waco, they've got like a cigar and bourbon bar.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, why are we not doing our podcast there?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, like that'd be cool. I'll just take my metal AC sign. And
yeah, it's nice. No, I've never done a podcast in a Hobby Lobby before.
Right.
This is really nice.
Hey, these are authentic signatures, okay? So get off of your high horse, Chris.
Nay.
Did you get that one?
Yeah.
Wow, that was a deep burn.
Wow, man. This podcast is brought to you by Christopher Reeve's death.
Thanks, Chris.
Apparently his kryptonite is those things horses jump over.
Right. Yeah, no shit. He hit that. Did you know that?
Yeah.
You did?
I knew that I thought the horse hit it and then he went ass over.
No, the horse just said, "I'm done."
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So
that's such a shame.
Yeah, it's wild. We were talking about something else.
We were talking about God, is there a rewind button?
Doing mics and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. We took a break.
So,
you moved to L.A.
Yeah. So
and
So we'll catch up. We're comedians. Our brains go a million miles an hour. Okay. So when you're in LA and you're doing auditions and stuff, you get the fucking script, and it's usually like a day before your audition, and it's like, hey, prepare this scene for us, and then you go and you are in a fucking room full of like 4 to 5 people, and you're like, I'm uncomfortable. One person's reading it, and they read it in the most monotone fucking way that they can.
Oh, the person that's reading back the other lines? Oh, yeah. They don't emote at all.
Yeah. No.
If acting is reacting, then there's no acting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what's so hard. And it's like, it's a really emotional scene. Like, why are you leaving me? Please don't. And then they're like, because
I don't love you.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, okay, well, I can't fucking get into this. So I realized like those people, hold the key to my future. You know what I mean? And it's like that. Fuck that.
And it's very rarely based on what you're emoting. Like I'd go into auditions in LA and I'd see some auditions, I'd see 12 people that looked exactly like me. And I'm like, all right, I'm at the right place, but I hope I'm the right one.
Right.
Then I go to other auditions and I'd see 12 people that look nothing like me.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm obviously in the wrong fucking place.
Yeah, this is not it.
Or they don't know what they're looking for.
Right.
But with a play, with a show, with anything like that, it can go good or bad for multiple reasons. The writing could be bad, the lighting could be bad, it could be a bad night for the director could be shit. We took different choices. But that's what I like stand-up about is like, if they don't laugh, it was you.
It was you. Yeah.
You weren't funny.
Exactly.
And
I mean, sometimes it can be them because you
can
have a sour night.
You can have a sour night, absolutely. But there's people that are more free-form. Like you talk to Philly at times, and he talks about how he wants to be able to write this way, but he feels comfortable just talking to people.
Exactly.
You know,
it's that true
some people
human
have
connection.
that. Yeah, some people have that superpower. But, I mean, it's immediate feedback. You don't need to wait for Variety magazine to say that your show bombed or you didn't get picked up for a pilot or whatever, or get a call from your agent saying you didn't get picked up.
Yeah.
You know immediately that and you can also change on the fly like a race car driver. Like, oh, that car's burning over there. Let me go over this way a little bit.
Exactly. Like,
you know?
You can't do that in an audition room. Like, actually, this script is shit, so I've prepared something different
Right,
for
yeah,
you.
I'm just gonna ad-lib all of this. I went to Upright Citizen Brigade, so I'm a pretty good improviser. I'm just gonna I'm gonna write this if that's cool.
You don't realize who you have in your room.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Who wrote this? Aaron Sorkin? Never heard of him.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna end scene. You know?
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, and like, and that's what's so tough though about LA and the grind. And like, I've got plenty of friends still out in LA, you know, doing the grind and stuff. And like, I love it, you know, like I love the hustle. But I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. You know, like I've got too many things in life that I want to accomplish that I don't want to rely on other people. So I was like, I'm gonna get back into comedy, you know, and look how it's fucking flourished since then.
Yeah, and I used to do the same thing. I was spending all my money. I was working at the Grove in L.A.
Okay.
At the movie theater.
Yeah.
Doing a projectionist and like ticket taker, and I'd spend all my money on headshots because you need headshots as if that's some kind of.
I just threw away $1,000 in headshots.
Yeah, and it took me fucking 6 weeks to make it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was eating nothing but free popcorn from the concession stand.
Exactly.
And then, you know, you're there, you see all these famous movie stars, William H. Macy and all these people coming in, and you're like, oh, maybe I could just stand next to him at the urinal and ask him who his agent is. You know, how he got, like, it's just so, I don't know, it's a dream that's being sold to you, but by the time you get there, you're already upside down and alone. You know what I mean? Like, it just takes so much. So it's like, why not take charge of it yourself?
Exactly. No, and like, and that's what's so cool about comedy because, you know, it's like I still want to act and I still want to like I'm writing scripts and stuff, you know, like I just found because I just cleaned out all my bookshelf and stuff, and like I just found a script that I wrote, you know, when I was in LA, and like it's a good script. I'm not gonna say that it's great, but it's good, you know, it's okay.
Sure.
Like but I've never done anything with it because it's not good enough, you know. Right. But so like I've got all these ideas and stuff, and it's like I still would like to go there, but like I've fallen in love with comedy, you know, so it's like I think acting and stuff just kind of becomes an afterthought, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, also find a way, like, at least that's what I'm trying to approach it the same way. I'm definitely an actor, and I'm an actor playing the part of a comedian. That's what I am right now. And they used to say a magician is an actor playing the part of a magician because we're not really magic. I'm not really reading your mind or whatever. So I took that philosophy, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not a comedian, but I'm going to act like one from this moment to this moment, and I'm going to find the laughs and write a script that fits me, even if it's a conversational script.
Right.
And a lot of people, a lot of audience members don't realize that when a comedian's talking, it may sound conversational. Right. It may sound like you're coming up with shit on the top of your head, and we're talking to you, but it's well honed. They know exactly where to pause. We know what we're saying. Sure. And that's where I think hecklers come in. They actually think it is. They're so dumb they think a conversation is happening.
Right. So they're like, "Oh, I need to have a rebuttal to this."
Oh, yeah, I know that. You should also try this. What's your tattoo made of?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's actually like, I don't know. It's a credit to you because you've made them so comfortable believing that you're genuine at that time.
Yeah, for sure.
Talking to them, that they feel comfortable talking to you.
Right. Yeah. No. And a lot of sometimes it is on the fly. You know, just like that stuff. Even the whole stalker bit that I did. You know, obviously because I didn't know that situation. You know, but I think that comes down to being a professional. You know, and knowing like, okay, there's still a certain cadence, there's still a certain timing, you know, like comedic timing is something that like I've talked to so many people and it cannot be taught. You have to know comedic timing.
Right, and that's one of the things I find as drawback for open mics, because maybe you're only getting 4 minutes or 5 minutes. You can't enjoy the silence. You can't enjoy the pause.
Exactly.
You've got to burn through everything so that everything you wrote gets said. And a lot of that timing is enjoying the silence and finding the time for them to relate to it or understand it or have it click.
Right.
And you can't explore that necessarily in 4 minutes.
Exactly.
If it's a 5 minute bit.
Yeah, no. Like, because one that I do a lot where I'm like, oh, my friend doesn't like meth, you know, whatever. And then I'm like, so I ask him about, you know, do you like sucking dick? And he's like, no. And then I just look at the crowd and I'm like, and I just let it ring out, and they just start laughing because they start to, okay, well, how does, you know, so I let them figure out the joke before I say it. And
but if you, I mean, that's a third of your time.
Exactly.
If you're in an open mic or you're trying it out for the first time somewhere.
Right. And that's what I hate so much about open mics. And like, it's great that there's a bunch of open mics coming around that are like 10 minutes or better, you know, because like, I feel like even if you're a new comic, you don't have to take up the whole 10 minutes, you know, but just utilizing and saying it's okay to be uncomfortable.
Yep, just like, having it at your disposal.
Exactly. Yeah. Like that is the biggest thing, is that so many people are afraid of the discomfort. And
right.
I think when you come up in life uncomfortable, like my life has been uncomfortable from the fucking
I'm comfortable in discomfort.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I go places, like I was just at, so I have a day job, you know, and I was just at like this huge meeting down in Austin on Wednesday, and it's very professional, you know, very professional. And they were like, well, tell us about this, that, and that, you know, and I did this thing because I do comedy no matter where I'm at, and I'm in front of, you know, 50 people, including my boss, his boss, his boss, and his boss's boss, you know. So I was like, there's a lot of big people, and I go up there and I talk about how if you're going, so it's a adjustable bases, like I sell mattresses, and they're like, sell me this. So I was like, okay, well, this one comes with an app that you can control, so then that way if you and your wife get into an argument, she makes you sleep on the couch, you can make sure that her sleep is shitty too by messing up the way that she's sleeping. And everybody laughs. They did not, you know. So it was so uncomfortable that I fucking thrive in it, because I'm like, I want everyone to be like, are you like, you can't say that kind of stuff, you know. And it's like, the fuck I can't.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. What's the harm in getting, like, breaking this professionalism and just talking to people like people sometimes?
Exactly.
And so I'm a high-ranking officer in the military. And it's the same thing. I have people under me in charge of stuff, and it's a very PC culture,
right?
You know, and I'm not the most PC guy at times. And it's okay. Once you get to be known for that, it's okay. They're like, oh, that's just Chief. He's right. But, you know, the same thing. It's like, why can't I just talk to you and make fun of the fact that this could have been an email instead of a meeting?
Exactly.
And all this other shit. And, like, it's okay. We're all thinking it.
Exactly.
Like, let's just acknowledge it, and then it'll make this whole thing a little bit easier for us to deal with.
No shit.
But it's also, I don't know if it's selfish, because I just know it makes it a little bit easier for me to deal with.
Exactly. But again, you're not isolated in that.
No,
not
at all.
And I told my wife the other day, and I was like, this would be a great fucking slogan. And I don't know where I would use it, or, you know, but comedian is not just a job title.
No.
And it's like, it is.
No, you're a comedian that finally found a place to be a comedian.
Exactly. And it's like that. I'm not just like, oh, I'm a comedian, so I'm only funny on stage.
No,
like,
no.
No, I just want you to know that if I'm thinking it it fits the situation, it's going to be said. I don't care if it's uncomfortable or not. Like,
I have no problem being the funniest person in the office. I've been that for years.
Exactly. Even if no one's laughing.
Even if nobody's laughing.
Exactly.
It's fucking brilliant.
Right.
This shit is brilliant.
For sure.
And if you don't see it, like, you're either blind or you're ignoring it because it's inappropriate.
Right, exactly. You're afraid of it.
And
allowing yourself to be that person, to me, is like one of the biggest fucking obstacles. And that's why I was telling you, you know, like, talking about your real life shit, like, especially being in the military and stuff. I'm sure you've done things that are so bizarre.
Yeah, but I mean, so I'm trying to avoid crutches, and I look at certain things as, yeah, I could totally do USO shows and be like the chief warrant officer that goes around and does military humor to military folks and, like, get the laughs. And
but it doesn't have to be military stuff, though.
That's true.
It just has to be real life experiences, you know. But a lot of times, you know, the things that you deal with in life, you know, which if you've been in the military for a while, you know, that is your life.
Right, absolutely, and it's completely relatable to that audience. I didn't want to pigeonhole myself in a way, but there is a way to garner a reaction from that, and also make it better for them as well, make it more. So when I joined the military, especially being a magician, and being funny. I thought that they were gonna beat it out of me like the Full Metal Jacket. They were
Right,
just, shut the fuck up, pal.
Exactly.
But I found that there was no, it was the most responsive audience because these kids need it. Like they're fucking,
Right, yeah.
they're away from their families, or they're 18 years old. They've never lived away.
They're looking for something to
They're
hold
looking
on
something, to. Yeah, something that is not the hell that they're going through.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm not going through fucking Hanau, I'm not,
Right.
this isn't Vietnam, but
you're all storming the fucking beach of Normandy.
right, like, oh man,
yep, today's the day.
Today's the day, yeah, exactly. And I'm making fun of French rolled cigarettes or whatever the fuck they made fun of back in the 42. But like, they still wanted a break from the reality. That
Right,
they were going
exactly. And giving that to them though, like I feel like that is such a unique gift,
It is, but I mean, now we're gonna get fucking deep, right? So there's also a little bit of a horror element to it.
Okay.
Where you're like, these are pieces of me, right? This is what I can do. Just because I can do it, just like, oh my God, just like a prostitute, any woman can sell their body.
Right.
Only certain people choose to.
Uh-huh.
They always have that power to go out and be like, I can make a living or make money or whatever doing this. Jesus Christ, are we really going here? Like, just because we can sit down and write 15 minutes worth of jokes about this one thing or, embrace this one kind of audience, if it's not comfortable for us,
yeah, of course,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
there's still a boundary that we have as well.
Absolutely.
You don't want to whore yourself out and just, So we're doing this PG-13 show, and I'm like, what am I going to write about Minecraft for?
Right, absolutely.
I don't know what to talk about.
No, and that's the thing. You have to be authentic to you,
right?
Because what is authentic to you is going to be authentic to other people,
right? And that's where your true humor lies.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're writing for The Onion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is great. It's brilliant shit, but. It's strategic and it's...
No, but I think just finding that common balance and knowing, because it's like me, I talk about, like my parents and, dealing with the meth and, I talk a lot about my wife and, like all of these things, and they're very personal to me. Nothing is off limits to me. And, like that, but that is my thing, is that like, I'm going to talk about any of it and all of it, you know? So it's like finding that comfort level with you, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Like
absolutely.
I did a bit one time about I had to take my wife to the gynecologist, and I was so uncomfortable, because I'm like, there's this fucking 80-year-old man like finger banging my wife in front of me, and I was like,
cuck shaming you.
Yeah, and then like he was like, well, let me check your titties too, and I was like, okay,
all right, now let's see how deep your mouth is.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Where does this end?
Right, exactly. And I'm like, what is happening right now? But like, I was so uncomfortable that like on the ride home, I didn't even say anything, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And like, she did nothing.
You felt violated.
Yeah, I was like, she did nothing wrong,
No,
but I'm
not.
just like, I was uncomfortable.
Right.
So I fucking talked about it that night on stage because it's like, you know what? I'm sure somebody else has dealt with this, and if they haven't, well, then they're about to hear what I have to say.
Well, I was one of those dudes that would like, I was hesitant to write in a journal growing up for fear of who would find it. So even in my journal, I would like be deceptive and wouldn't totally tell the truth.
Right.
Because I'm like, well, if somebody finds this, they're really going to get to know me.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the same thing, going through 2 divorces or this or that. Like, there's so much humor there.
There is, yeah.
But it's like, ooh, do I know you enough? And I definitely don't. You're on a free show at a wine bar. Like, who are you? But that's like I said, that's the 4th box in the scratch-off ticket. Again, I'm really new to this whole thing.
Yeah, no,
so I'm
for
just
sure.
getting used to like getting up, getting comfortable with those spaces we talked about, the pentameter, the construction of jokes, and then I'll let the psyche breathe a little bit.
Right. But I think honestly, because like I've been around you long enough, like I've seen you on stage and I've seen you off of stage, and like you really have to learn a person before you can like come up with a pretty good idea of that person.
Oh, absolutely.
So like I've been around you enough now that like I see why you've got your 30,000 followers on Instagram.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you're a great magician, but I bet a lot of it has to do with the way that you make people feel.
Yeah,
right?
And that's really, I think, the key, and I didn't realize that until way later.
Exactly.
And just like, you were saying comedy is a gift because, we're giving this thing. Magic was as well because, that's why it's difficult to do magic for kids. I could pull a unicorn out of a flower pot, and they're like, yeah, that's where they live.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But you do something to an adult, and it kind of reverts them back to this frame of wonder.
Right,
Like
exactly.
the laws of the universe don't exist for a second. They're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, where did it come
like,
from?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, if it's real, not this like, oh, my thumb is over here.
Right.
You know what I mean? But real stuff. And I'm trying to relate that to comedy now where it's like, what you think, even if it's something you think is bad, whether it be your parents dying or drug abuse or whatever, what you think the social norm is, the conversation, the narrative around that, it doesn't have to be that.
Right, yeah, because that's their rules.
Right, that's their rules. And who the fuck are they? There's only one you.
Exactly.
You get to make it up yourself. But if I show you that 2 of us think that way, or a room full of us think that way.
Exactly. Look
now
around.
We're stronger than that fucking ideal.
Exactly.
And we can change the narrative.
Right. And with that being, like that is what I've realized with you, is that you are very much like, this is who I am as a person. Your jokes are secondary. But when you're on stage, it's like, this is who I am as a person. You're high energy. You're fun. People want to listen. So you bring that feeling to people, and that's why you have so many followers. Is because people are like, you make me feel good. And if I can feel good every time I get on Instagram, then wow, like this is great. So
right, and it's trying not to compromise the whole genuineness of it, where you're not catering to try to design to make people feel. I'm trying to stay real to myself or whatever,
right?
Because I think that's what attracted it in the first place. And when you start being like, well, I'm trying to go for the Japanese audience now,
right?
I'm trying to be big in Tokyo.
I'm not going to say gay because I don't want to piss off, this group. It's like, but come on now, it's like you have to say the things that we're all thinking. Like, I've got a lot of gay friends. I've got, and it's like, but I'm going to be totally honest with you. I met 2 gay guys at Corky's, right? 2 of the best dudes I've ever met in my life. And I did this joke one time about, it's a long fucking joke, but about my wife's aunt saying that she loves oranges, just not the bad ones because they taste like cum. And so I do this whole bit about like, am I gay? Like I love oranges. Yeah. So do I know what cum tastes like? And these guys, they fucking loved it. And I was like, and I got kind of aggressive because I was like, is that why they call gay dudes fruits? Because they taste like oranges.
Well, you're bringing something to the conversation that you're bringing it to the conversation in a funny way.
Exactly.
They're gay.
Right.
And you're welcoming them to the party.
Exactly.
In a way that, oh, don't worry, I'm going to make fun of these guys fucking too. And I'm going to make fun of these guys. I'm going to make fun of myself.
Exactly. We're all part of this.
We're all part of this grand cosmic joke that like, we exist in this one moment and that's it. So let's fucking,
let's have the best experience together that we can have.
I'm not special, you're not special, and we're going to talk about that.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And it's like, if I don't talk about you because, like you're off limits, well then that's excluding you. And that's what people don't realize is they think like, oh, well, you're protecting them. No, you're fucking excluding them.
Right. And so there's a culture, where there's certain conversations, so I made a joke the other night about if you're big, just be big on Tinder. Mm-hmm. Just be big. Yeah. Somebody will love you if you're big. It's fine. They're called black guys.
Right.
Okay, so that's a risk, right? Because I said the word black guy.
And you're talking about big women.
And I'm talking about big women. So it's a stereotype. Stereotypes, some exist for a reason.
Right.
I wasn't saying, and so there's somebody could say, oh, that's racial. No, or they say it's racist. I say, no, it's racial.
Right.
Racial is okay. To say that, whatever, like
now if you were gonna say if I
said
I
hate black guys for liking big women, that's
right,
racist.
Exactly, or oh, that's black men, and chances are they're probably gonna murder you,
right?
If
I'm putting a negative connotation and I'm exuding some kind of negative frame and point of view,
right?
But you can talk about racial stuff. You
Absolutely.
Can talk about. Like let's fucking talk about these things.
Yeah, for sure, because that you're opening the conversation.
Right, and I get it. People are like, well, you shouldn't be the one to talk about these things. If we want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. And I get that. That's fine. But all I'm saying is, like, there are differences. There's nothing off the table.
Right.
Socrates would have been a stand-up comedian back in the day.
Absolutely.
All the philosophers standing up on an apple crate in the middle of a town square, spouting off about religion or the government or whatever. They would have just been comedians. Yeah, that's all it was. And I'm sure some of their shit was killer.
Right.
I really do think that.
Yeah, they just don't tell us that portion
we didn't
of it.
know.
We just get the setup.
Yeah, and we don't get the, you know what I mean? Yeah,
right.
We got the setup. We didn't get the punchline.
Exactly.
The punchline is they murder you with hemlock. That's the fucking punchline.
Exactly. But that is the thing, though, is that you have so many people who are like, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like, fuck that. You know? When you tell me I can't do something, like my mom used to always tell me, and like it's so funny because like I would always prove her right no matter what she said. My mom, whenever I was in like 3rd grade or 4th grade or something, like she was like, you're retarded, you're just stupid, you're retarded. And I was like, okay, like that's fine,
I mean, you came from her, what is that?
Right, yeah, right. But she was like, she was crazy, you know? So I was like, I'll show you how retarded I am. And I stopped doing every fucking bit of of work in school,
Yeah.
and like so bad that my teacher would be like, "You gonna do anything today?" I'd be like, "Nah, I'm retarded." You know, but so that's the thing, though. You have to be able to address these things.
Yeah.
This is something that I really dealt with, you know, and it's like, is it insensitive? Maybe, you know, but it's like the more that you push somebody into a corner, they're going to do one of two things.
Yep.
They're going to do it to the fullest, or they're going to do the opposite,
Right.
you know, and you have to realize that it's the same thing whenever we're talking about social, you know, like PC and, you know,
And
like all.
there's a huge difference, though, against like shock comedians, shock culture, where it's just, I'm going to say this shit. I don't have any genuine feeling about it. I'm just going to try to elicit a reaction and go for that easy laugh or go for that easy shock. And that's lazy. It discredits the people that are actually working, you know, that are actually trying to approach this thing as a thoughtful project, a thought experiment. So there's always detractors as well, but there's a way to put them in their place with your own things as well to show the appropriateness of it. But yeah, man, I mean, if we're only going to talk about rainbows and unicorns and butterflies, like, they're already awesome. Like, what are we going to fucking talk
Who
about?
are we appealing to at this point?
Right.
You know, like you can't just constantly talk about, you know, the things within the box,
right?
Because the only thing that people are going to get burnt out on that first and foremost.
And you're not identifying the truth that's in front of you.
Exactly.
If you think I'm a lowlife because I'm up on stage on a Wednesday night at 10 o'clock in a wine bar, you're sitting down in a wine bar.
Paying money.
It's like, I can't go to Walmart at 3 a.m. I'm afraid who's going to see me. Bitch, they're there too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like, you're sharing this experience.
Exactly.
Don't be so self-conscious. Let's break through this and have fun at least while we're here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's all superficial anyway.
It is.
You know, so just fucking enjoy it. And like that's what I love about comedy, though, is that it has given me this platform to, like, I don't fucking care. I've never cared, because at the end of the day, like, this is a fun fact, and I haven't told anybody this at all except you right now. My wife just bought my grave plot. Right?
Okay,
because it's right. It's just a couple.
Did she get it half off because of the size? Is that
no?
Did she save some money on that?
Because she's gonna be next to me, so they were like, you know,
they could just put you, you know, lengthwise, both of you together. And
I said just put her on top, you know, and that made me feel good. But so because it's right down, like, just a couple plots away from my dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's what I always said. I want to be by my dad.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like. It was kind of a weird feeling when she told me that. She's like, I just want you to know, like, I bought you a surprise. And I was like, all right, you know, what is it? And she said, I bought your grave plot, you know, right by your dad. And I was like, it's such a great feeling. It's weird, though, because you realize that, like, this is all just part of the fucking experiment.
This
you
is
know?
it,
like,
bro.
Yeah.
This is it. And so we just happen. So you and I, Jesus Christ, you and I right now, we just happen to exist at this exact time.
Yeah, exactly.
We're expected to deal with all the shit that's happening right now as if we're different people than lived 400 years ago.
Right, yeah.
We're still the same body, still the same mind,
Everything's
still the same cognitive ability.
Yep.
But this is our snapshot. This is what we get.
Yep.
And
these are the rules we were given for our
That's
game.
why I don't talk politics, because I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
Who are those fucking guys? Those are just dudes that have
nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's weird to realize that your snapshot is this, you know, and be like, well, what am I going to do with it?
Exactly,
you know?
yeah. Like, you have those people that are like, well, I want to make sure that I color inside the lines, and I want to make sure that everything looks great, so then that way at the end of the day, people can be like, wow, they were such a good person. I want somebody to be like, nah, that motherfucker lived by his own fucking rules, you know? Like, at the end of the day, like, I was talking to Charlie Mack on my last podcast, and he said, there will be a day where somebody talks about you for the last time. And it's like, that is so accurate. I want to make sure that is so fucking far in the future. Right. That people are just like,
bro, it's okay to be selfish.
Yeah.
Like, because that's all we got is ourselves.
That's all we got.
That's all we got. We have not talked about, we have not made you guys laugh at all. And but like, this is some real, real heat. This is some real heat. I'm about to break out 10 hot wings so we can go through it just but like, this is it. Like, it's okay to be selfish.
For sure.
You know, you got yourself, and that's, if you can find a way to be selfish and share that with people, with the byproduct of being selfish.
Right.
I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to try to make what I can. I'm going to earn what I can. I'm going to try to do what I can with my free time. Yeah, just a nip. That's good. But if the byproduct of that, if the runoff of that, if the wake of that boat also brings something to somebody else and makes somebody else's life better,
right?
Cool. If it doesn't, that's also cool.
That's
for me.
also cool too.
Like, because this is the only life I got that I'm sure of.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna try to make it as comfortable for everybody else as possible.
Yeah. No. And that's what I think people forget. Like, so I love autobiographies, and I mean, obviously, like I love celebrities, and I love learning the stories and stuff, And I keep relating back to that Christopher Reeve book, but it's because I'm reading it right now, and it resonates so much with me because like I fucking love Superman, Like I've got like a real Christopher Reeve Superman suit, with the leather boots and everything. Like I fucking love Superman, not because I'm like a nerd. Yeah, well, it's small. It is a small, and I still have to fold the legs. But look,
fun of me being bald.
You see me in a Superman suit up there, like my little bobblehead.
Is that a custom bobblehead with you in a Superman suit?
Fuck yeah, it is.
Is it life size?
Yeah, they modeled it after me. So within that, he talks about how when he was playing Superman, he was always afraid that, like because he was very into sports and all of this stuff, he was afraid that something would happen and that the headline would read Superman gets hit by a bus. Yeah. And he's like, what a shitty way, And so now Superman gets paralyzed. Yeah. And it's like he was 42 years old.
Yeah, that's how old I am right now.
Right. So
that's scary as fuck.
Exactly. Like, could you
imagine Oprah talking through a wooden spoon on my chin?
Right.
I mean, like that's
that's fucking nuts.
And the other thing that's nuts is being known for the like the top tier strongest man in the world in the universe.
In the exactly. Like the fucking Man of Steel.
Yeah, if the guy that played Mickey Mouse got hit by
you'd be like, oh no.
Oh man. Oh shit.
Exactly. That makes sense.
You're fucking Superman.
You're
bro.
Superman. Yeah. And like, but that makes because we are all fucking human.
Yeah, we're all fragile.
And he died, I think, 9 years later, after his accident.
Oh, he hung on for a while.
But it's like the fact that like he only had that short period, 42 years to do everything he wanted to do. And then he did do a little bit more, but like obviously he was limited. He couldn't fucking run a marathon anymore, He couldn't ride horses. And it's like making sure that whatever you're doing is exactly what you want to do and living to your full fucking potential. Like that is what it's about.
And I don't know if there's a grand plan. I don't know if there's some puppet master up there. All I know is that I don't know. Very Descartes way of thinking. But if Stephen Hawkins didn't get like fucking robot talking disorder where he could just sit around and use only his brain all day.
Right.
He didn't have to worry about wiping his ass or going to Costco. He didn't have to worry about filling his gas tank. He didn't have to worry about like paying his taxes and going to H&R Block. He could only sit around and beep boop around about the universe all day. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like that's what this guy was, a brain. That's what we need.
That is what he was.
He was a brain. So let's just give him his brain.
Yep, exactly.
And he found a way to exude that.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about anything else. Nothing else
Just be a fucking
matters.
brain. Just think. We need you to think about some stuff, Steve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just sit around and relax.
Remove these distractions.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and like and that's what's so crazy is that like Jim Carrey, I'm a huge Jim Carrey fan. I've got his book. It's fucking wild if you haven't read it. But he talks about how, like we are all like the universe happens for you, like and experiences that they don't happen to you, it's for you, so you have to believe that they're going to happen, but you have to work toward them as well, you know. But it's like I like that idea, is that like we are given the things that we need and that we require, and it's up to you on how you use them. Like my parents dying was such a traumatic experience, but like I think I'm doing all right.
Yeah, it's weird that. So you mentioned all these autobiographies. Those are obvious success stories,
right?
But those are success stories that we all have accessible to us because of their amount of significance, fame, success. We've all got the success story.
Exactly. Like you have to find yours.
You already have your success story.
Yeah.
Whether your name is on, whether your picture is on somebody else's wall behind their podcast or not.
Exactly.
You're already a success story.
Yeah.
But like it would be great. You know what I mean? Because I used to liken Jim Carrey to the same thing. I wanted to be famous not so that I could get the money but so that I could reach as many people as possible in the shortest amount of time.
100%. Yep.
Just do. I mean, he does. A movie. We all see it.
Yep.
12 million people the first weekend.
Exactly.
We all feel it. We walk away. Boom. It's a lot harder when you're like, I'm going to drive up the coast of California and do 3 open mics and maybe 3 people will follow my Instagram.
Yeah, right. And I'm going to spread the word.
Yeah, I'm spreading the word, of Christianity. You know what I mean? Like, just trying to, get them to experience it.
Right.
But yeah. It's really difficult to try to find that niche where it's a balance between being, a desire for something that's bigger.
Right.
But if there's truth in it, or also just like chasing a dollar.
Well, and I think that is, one of the biggest things, because like, as you know, every time that we do a show, we try and pay people. It's not a lot, but we do our fucking best.
No, it was unexpected. I was hanging out. I was sitting there with Chelsea, and she's, oh my God, I just got $20 from Alex. Oh my God, I just got paid. Oh my God, I got my first paying gig. And I was like, yeah, I just got paid too. She's like, oh my God, you got $20. I'm like, I just got paid. Just got paid.
Yep.
Just got paid. It's just a great feeling to be able to be like, something I made, like if you would have sold that shitty icebox, if you'd have sold that to somebody at a yard sale, you'd have been like, I sold a piece of art.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Why did you say it was shitty though?
I'm just kidding. I said it's shitty because Dylan said it was shitty, and pretty much everyone that comes on says it's shitty.
Say it's
shitty.
Well, good to know.
Clark Kent signed it.
See, okay. First off,
so does this breed your alien love as well? Like like, I'm not from this planet type thing?
Yeah, I mean, and like, I don't think that like I'm an alien or anything like that, but like, so my tattoo, right?
Yep.
So it looks like it's cracking out of my skin.
Sure.
So it was originally supposed to be like a whole sleeve, and this was going to be a rock of kryptonite, and Superman was actually going to be flying over Metropolis and taking it into the sun, right? So the sun is what gives him power, and kryptonite is what hurts him, and then the people that he loved is below. So the idea of it was going to be Superman overcomes his weakness with his strength, protecting those he loved.
Yeah, and they're like, bro, we've got 40 minutes and you've got $70. I can give you this tattoo. Like, you want a whole fucking... who am I, Joe Siegel? Am I going to fucking carve this whole thing out? Is that what you want?
No, like, it was going to be like this big deal. Like, I paid $150 on that thing like a long time ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So
$150 in 2002 money. That's like $156.
It was a lot of money.
You got to get the Death of Superman logo on the other side, the dripping blood one.
No, because he never dies in my heart.
Jesus fucking Christ. But it shows the dichotomy, the strength and the weakness. You know what I mean? That everybody has a doomsday coming.
Yeah, but you know, like, not my Superman. Like I said, those are their rules.
My gay hero Superman that can ride a horse. My Superman is equine, professional. My Superman.
He wasn't in a chair.
He wasn't in a chair. It's not the George Reeves black and white Superman. It's the Christopher Reeves. Fucking yeah.
George Reeves killed himself too.
Yeah, I know. I would too if I'm like, everybody expects me to be able to stop a train with my bare hands. They're like, George, my baby. He's like, what the fuck do you want? I'm at Woolworths. What do you want from me? I can't.
They paid me $30 for that.
Stop! He stole my purse. I can't really fly.
You sack of shit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, but my Superman.
Yeah, that needs to be the name of your autobiography. My Superman, me. You know what the name of my autobiography is going to be? I peed in the talent pool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because I feel like I don't belong there, and I'm just like that thing that everybody's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
There's the guy waiting over there by himself.
Just waving away. No, it was always this blue. It was always this blue before I got here. I don't know what it was. They might have just cleaned it. Oh, man. Anybody want to get dipped? I used to dip girls in the pool. They used to love me dipping them. That's where you grab them from behind and dip them underwater. And I realized
they loved it
because I was grabbing their boobs and I didn't know it. I was like 14 and I would grab them by the boob and dip them under the water. And then I just realized there was a fucking line of girls standing there like, dip me. And I'm like, all right. And then I realized, like, they're like, bro, you're just grabbing her boob. I'm like, yeah.
How old were the girls?
16.
Okay. And they're like, yeah, I like being groped by a younger man.
Yeah, there's that weird age where, like, you know, you're young enough to not know what the fuck's going on and they're old enough to know exactly what's going on.
They're like, I'm not getting any action at school, so might as well go to the community pool.
Yeah, we didn't have a big Catholic church following, so there's not much outlet for
you got to take what you can get.
Take what you can get, yeah.
So we're going to go to the icebox. Actually,
yeah,
since
I'm
you
so excited
it.
about this.
Yeah.
I'm so excited
I only have 2 fucking things left.
Why did you have to say that? Nobody can see. There's a
no.
fucking...
I'm telling them because I need you guys.
Oh, that is true.
I need you to come. Like, we do have questions, but we want to get new questions, fresh questions before we start to recycle. So we have 2 questions left, and it would be fucking incredible if you guys would go to the comments and let us know what you want to talk about. You know, this is it's a cool experience for us and for you. So you can grab one, you can grab them both. both.
Grab one. I can grab 50% of them. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
or
saying?
you can grab 100. That's what I'm saying.
I
Pretend
can't
like
grab
it's
100.
two titties.
All right, what do we got here? All right, so this one is from Lex, and it is...
See, Superman.
What would be carved on your tombstone?
That's a good one.
Boy, that guy sure owed me a lot of money. No, that's not mine. I can't even take credit for that. That's a Jack Handy deep thought.
I was going to say, what, you've loaned a lot of people money?
No, I borrow a lot of money.
Oh, he owed me.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You're in the military.
What would be? Yeah. So, oh God, I hope it's not like veteran of the Polish invasion or whatever we're coming up to in the next 5 years. I only got 5 years left, so hold off. I would like it to be a QR code. I would like it to be a QR code to this podcast. I think that would be. You know.
You want to die today? Because that'd be great.
No, we can. Do you know how technology works? So you can put this on YouTube, and then I can make a QR code, but it'll always be there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Because if you wait another 30 years, I'll be irrelevant. So
it's not true. Because people will be stopping by my grave because I'll be relevant, and then they'll be like, "Oh shit!" And then you have a whole resurgence.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
It'll be like my second coming.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Like when Superman died but didn't really die.
Right, he came back.
27 episodes and sent Funeral for a Friend and all this shit that I fucking bought in 1992. Spent so much. I had a Christmas present and my parents waited in line at a newsstand at 5 a.m. to buy me the Death of Superman comic because I used to listen to
separately.
I used to listen to the Wayne's World soundtrack that had Dreamweaver on it and read Death of Superman comic and cry. Because I was like, I can't believe he's gone. I can't believe he's gone. And then 8 weeks later, they're like, just kidding. Oh, no.
Back.
4 weeks later, they're like, guess what? There's 4 other Superman. One's black, one's a kid, one's a girl, and one's a cyborg. And I'm like, I don't buy any of this shit.
Right.
And then they're like, guess what? He wasn't really dead. He was in your hearts all along, like a Christmas
time.
wish. And you're like, my Superman. Superman's fucking Santa Claus.
Superman's dead, asshole.
Your Superman is dead. I saw him get destroyed. Lois Lane kissed his dead body. But... yeah, so it would revive. Yeah, I think a QR code with something fun, even if it's just a Rickroll.
He made himself disappear.
Yeah. Oh, that's the way to go.
That's the one. He's the ultimate magician.
So they always say in magic, you can't make something disappear if you don't make it reappear.
Right.
Because otherwise they're leaving hanging. Just like you can't set up a joke and then just have it die.
Right.
And I've seen Danny French do that once. He's like, yeah, so I was driving Lyft and the guy that I was with got stabbed. All right, good night, everybody. And it was fun. Because we're like, what the fuck just happened?
Where's my joke?
But I think the last way to go out would be you just I get into a glass sarcophagus and then a drape falls and I pull up and I'm gone. And then they're like, all right, cool.
Where
and then
is
that's
he?
it.
Yeah, and then
there's nothing after.
Then
that.
they just have your funeral afterwards.
They just have to
right.
The radio comes on like the end of a concert. There's no encore.
Is it over?
Yeah. Just fucking Taylor Swift comes on, and they're like, I guess this is the end of the show.
That's the one.
And then it doesn't announce me dead or anything. It's just he doesn't exist anymore. That's it.
He's just gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that
but you'd have to plan it. You don't really know when you're.
Well, if you die first, I'm gonna do that for you.
You're so much older than me. And you won't tell this, but you're so... I was at the bar with you. I'm like, how old are you? And you're like, I'm this, this, and this. And I'm like, it doesn't fucking track, bro.
None of it makes sense anymore.
And I was like, oh, I thought you thought I was that? I'm like, yeah. Why? Why'd you think I was that? Because I lived that. I know exactly what that age looks like and acts like. That's why I think you're that age.
He said, I'm going based off of some real research, okay?
I'm looking at your canines and shit, seeing how many fucking rings are in your teeth. Like a tree.
But I bite my fingernail, so,
that's weird. Okay.
Good talk.
Yeah. All right, so what would be on your tombstone?
On mine, I just wanted to say he did the best he could. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. He did the best he could. And then
You're not going for the last laugh?
No, I just want people to be like, what did he do? What was it? I don't know. But it was the best. The best he could.
I mean, that's good. Yeah. I mean, because it doesn't over-enunciate. It doesn't say you've done enough.
P.S. My Superman.
I've seen it. So a friend of mine runs the tombstone business in my town, and because it's kind of a smaller town, like we're on the outskirts, so it's a smaller town. So there's like we were the bar and restaurant business, we had the funeral home business, and then the
Like in your hometown.
mm-hmm,
Okay.
yeah. And he's like, bro, you'd be surprised how many Superman symbols get carved.
Oh, I
into.
bet.
So
Yeah.
many. So
Yeah.
many.
You can't all be Superman.
No.
Yeah.
No. Nobody actually can. Do you realize that, right? Nobody actually can. Is that how you're gonna go? Like, I think today's the day I can fly. It's like, bro, if you can fly, take off from the ground. Do not fucking jump
Don't jump
off
from
a building. Just fucking run as fast as you can.
I told my wife, I was like, how cool would it be if like I jumped off of this second story right here, like onto the couch? She's like, don't do it.
It would be super cool.
That's what,
Dude, I am one bourbon away. Seriously, it's not that far. I've seen
not.
WWF guys drop in on tables from
right,
further away.
exactly, and that's what
This
I'm
is
saying.
a couch.
What if I put my Superman suit on and my leather boots?
Dude, I have costumes too. Dude, I make proton packs, Ghostbuster proton packs. Like,
do you?
Live, like sound, lights, 60 pounds, blah blah blah. Got the whole suits. I've got. Dude, my house is nothing but Star Wars full costumes, Spider-Man costumes, and I just put them on and sit and watch the movie.
Fuck
it's
yeah.
like wearing the name of the band to the concert,
right?
You know? But I'm sitting there, in a stormtrooper outfit watching Empire Strikes Back alone.
Yeah,
yeah, that's my life.
What are you doing on October 29th?
Getting ready for Halloween.
Well, because I got a show that I need a host for.
Oh,
so.
do you really? Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I'd come out as a different character each night.
No, well, it's a
I
one
mean, not
night
each
thing.
night. Each. God damn it.
You're drunk, Chris.
I'm not drunk. I'm just.
But so no, and it's a costume contest and everything.
Oh, cool.
So like if you're into that kind of
I
thing,
will be
we'll.
in Seattle by then.
Oh, I forgot that they don't have trains and planes and automobiles and shit. Like that's an old school thing.
Oh, that's true. No, that's true.
Yeah. No, but like I get it. But
No,
actually,
I mean I get it. You don't want to come to my party. It's fine. It's fine. I love
Sorry,
dressing
I'm not
up.
your
My
Superman.
son was born on Halloween.
oh, I didn't know you had kids.
Oh, dude, I got 3 kids.
See, why are you not talking about this shit on stage?
Because it's not funny to me. It's just what it was.
Oh,
like one kid's born on Halloween, and I do have so, and it's true. When he was like 4, I took him out trick or treating for the first time, and I told him, I was like, "You see all these kids out here dressed up? They all dress up as your favorite character for your birthday." And if you knock on any house here, they will give you candy.
That's awesome.
So for like 4 years, he thought that trick or treat was because he was born.
Because of
Yeah. And then I have another ex-wife who she's German. I met her in Germany, and she's fully German.
Gut.
And then she lived with me for a little bit. We had 2 girls. One's 7, one's 4, and they
How many
live in
kids do
Germany.
you have?
3 total.
Jesus.
Yeah, 3 total. She hated the Hitler joke. I posted that I did this
No
Hitler joke.
shit.
She's like, I can't believe you would talk about Hitler on stage when
Well,
you have 2
you wave
little...
bye to them.
Yeah. She's like, I can't believe you would talk about Hitler on stage when you have 2 little German girls. So now I'm like a Holocaust joke denier. I'm like, no, it really wasn't that. You know?
Really, if you listen to the things he said,
Right, like, what do you think I'm saying up there? Like, yeah, they had some good ideas. You know what I mean? Like,
he said Hitler actually wasn't a bad guy. He never killed anyone.
no, I mean, he made the Volkswagen and the
Yeah.
Autobahn. Like, he had some pretty progressive thoughts.
Exactly. Like
No.
he was a little emotional, but like
No,
he was,
she's like, well, we don't want to talk about that. I'm like, is that why your history books are blank from 42 to 47? She's like, intentionally left blank.
we'll just skip
We're
through
just
the
gonna
next
skip
7
through that.
pages.
And Oktoberfest.
And
Yeah.
no, that's crazy. We're gonna have to talk about that. 'cause
Yeah,
we're
it'll
gonna have
get out there. It'll get
Yeah.
out there. But like I said, I'm still new. I'm still like, hey guys, trust me on stage.
right. Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm the new guy.
But they're gonna trust you because you're being real to them.
Right, but I don't know what real looks like yet. That workshop process is kind of like what happened on Wednesday, where if I'm like,
Yeah,
I got
but-
a show on the 17th, so anyway, fuck women, fuck sex, you guys are all cunts. You know what I mean? And then they're like, so the 17th, the only place we shouldn't go is here, is what you're saying? We'll go everywhere but here?
No,
Okay.
we'll work on some writing shit. Like,
Yeah.
like it's so much fun. Like I love comedy so much that like I want to see everybody succeed. You know, so
I wasn't good at math, so it's nice to find something that is formulaic that I can sit and be like, there's a fucking formula to
Yeah.
this equals that, and then this is that, and then solve for X.
And then at the end of the day, everybody's happy and I make money. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's the best for me. I'm trying to find the fucking slope.
Yeah.
And I can find money.
Yeah.
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 No, like 100%. Like
Excited to see what this next popsicle stick is. You're gonna delve into one more popsicle stick?
Yeah, let's take the last one.
You do it.
Okay.
You do it. I already did.
I already know what it says.
Did you write it?
No, but I read it before you got here.
Why would you do that?
Because
I just got to get a solid 5 on it. You know what I mean? I just got to fucking pregame a solid 5.
No, because like it was sitting up here because I did a solo before you got here, so like I just grabbed it and it was on top.
I thought I smelled old oranges.
Right. I love when I'm like, hey guys, come to a podcast on my couch, and they're like, why is it black? But it's suede, it's not leather, it's not real.
Yeah, it looks like a constellation here. There's so many white spots. I swear to God, I see Orion's belt.
That's weird because that's my brother's name.
Constellation?
Orion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really?
Uh-huh.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so that's weird. Anyway, we're from Indiana. Okay, dogs or cats? ? By Archimundo.
Definitely allergic to cats, but I sympathize with them more because they're kind of like, fuck you, I'll be what you want when I want to, and that's totally my mentality. Whereas dogs are just like so unconditionally stupid and loving. Like everything, I think it's because they have maybe a short attention span at times. I don't know what it is. Everything's a reset button for them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, which is I love it. Oh,
yeah.
You know, but like cats are like, I fucking remember.
Yeah, see,
I remember this shit.
This is my thing about cats. Cats are smart as fuck and do shit intentionally, especially when they know you will find out.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah.
So I can't stand cats on a counter. Right, we've had many a cats. We had a cat when we moved in here, and he went outside and just never came back. I think a coyote got him. I don't know, but he could
be living his best life.
He could
have just literally be like, fuck this place, I'm gonna go find something else.
And like they let me live on the counter. I don't know, but you know, like I had this one cat. I'm not gonna say his name because it was Hitler. He had a little mustache, and so he would live on the counter, and I was like, you piece of shit. But he would only let me know because he, like, around Halloween time when we had, like, a candy bowl, you know, for the kids, he would knock a sucker out of it.
Yeah.
And, like, leave it on the counter. And I'm like, how did that get out? Oh, Hitler, because he's a sack of shit.
And that's the thing. If you reprimand a cat, you just taught them exactly what to do for the next 5 years.
Exactly.
They're like, oh, really? Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right, fine.
And
it's like dating a Latino woman.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
You're like, don't fucking talk to me. Really? I can't fucking talk to you when you're playing your fucking Xbox? Is that what you're saying? Okay, I'm going to get a fucking account. I'm going to sign in. I'm going to join your goddamn squad. I'm going to fucking talk to you the whole fucking time. You know what I mean? You're like, I shouldn't have said fucking shit. Just let it go. Let it alone, and you'd be bored with the fucking sucker basket. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. But like that's the problem with cats. Where like dogs, like I'll walk into the house and I know if they did something wrong because they cower down.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they're like, I'm sorry, and I'm like, I can't see what you did. I don't know what you did, but what you feel bad for it. So we're just gonna, you know, it is what it is. You know, but like that's why I like dogs more because fuck cats and they're. You know, like revengeful fucking personality. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're like my dogs, like they'll get up and like they'll lick my face, and I'll be like, all right, that's enough, and they'll be like, but I do love you, and I'm like,
sure.
I know.
You
and
tell
I
a cat no,
it.
they're like, fine, I'm getting off, but I'm gonna show you my asshole first.
Exactly,
you know,
and
like,
I'm gonna scratch you in the fucking eyeball.
Yeah, and they could eat your face. You know what I mean? Dogs could too, but like it would take.
They
a
wouldn't
lot.
though, because like
they wouldn't.
Yeah, when people talk about dogs, they're like, oh, you're their master. When people talk about cats, they're like. Yeah, you're their caregiver.
Yeah, you're their roommate.
Exactly.
You know, and they're just like, yeah, squatters' rights. I don't got to pay shit for this. You know what I mean? Fucking try to kick me out. Fuck you. You know
I like
what I mean?
how he's just like a New Yorker.
Hey, go. Sorry, go fuck yourself. You know? Go clean my shit bucket. How about that? Exactly. Why don't you go fucking go in that little room and scoop my shit? You fucking piece of shit.
That is a cat to its core, though. So fuck those.
So
cats.
I like their mentality, but I'm allergic. I don't know how much allergic I am to cats. It's only I don't know if I'm allergic to tigers. I've never been that close.
The big ones.
Yeah, I don't know if the allergies go the whole gamut, but
right.
Little ones, and I like them. I'd get a little black cat, name him Jinx or fucking Boots or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
You wouldn't get like a white cat.
No, dude, I don't get white anything. It gets too dirty.
Yeah,
white cars, white shoes, white cats.
Yeah, your Halloween costume that you wear, it gets kind of dirty.
Yeah, dude, it's like, God, come on. I'm a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Oh, hey there, what's up there, pointy-headed ghost? Yeah, what's up there?
He said, I'm real scary.
Really? Did you get that in the dragon section? Was that the Grand Dragon Ghost? Why did you? It's weird.
What happened?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a ghost of an old culture. of a dead, dying mentality.
He said, "Did I tell you I've got 2 German girls?"
Yeah.
They love this costume.
Different walks of life. Different walks of life.
But listen, man, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you got all kinds of shit to do.
I do. I have so much shit to do. It's ridiculous. There's so many side projects burning in the.
You said between noon and 2.
Yeah.
And we're looking at 1:30. So it's been about an hour and a half.
I'm going to be not FaceTiming. I'm going to be Zooming with a museum soon because I do historical forgeries. Like, that's my side gig. Like, I replicate documents and works of.
I think that's illegal, dog.
Not if the person that knows they're acquiring it knows that it's fake.
Okay.
Yeah. So what they do after it, 100%. They could sell it off as real.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have a
You said I'm really good at signing Hitler's autograph.
Oh, I said Hitler once, and he fucking just ran with it. So we're gonna Dr. Phil workshop this a little bit later. Get a little angel's envy, and then all of a sudden, I'm gonna lose Mein Kampf over this. That means my head in German.
Hey,
I know
thanks,
enough
buddy.
German to talk to a 4-year-old girl.
Wirklich?
Yeah, Verkush.
Wirklich?
Wirklich?
Really?
Is that a pickle?
That means really?
Oh, I don't know that word. She
So,
just never said
nein,
that to me.
ich weiß nicht. Ich bin ein Dummkopf.
No.
Oh, okay. So
no,
you don't know German at all.
No,
okay.
like I said, I can speak to a 4-year-old girl.
Okay.
Which is just
Hello,
like,
was
hello,
ist
Papa.
los?
Yeah. I was swimming.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Ich
Is that
bin gut.
swimming? Yeah. Yeah. So I gotta talk to this museum about something I gotta replicate for them. And,
Okay, well that's cool, man. I didn't ask what you were doing, but
I'm
I
just trying to
appreciate
plug. If any museums out there are watching this podcast,
If
if you're one of the 111 people that have subscribed to this podcast,
Wow, what
then
a dick.
and you happen to own a major museum in the metropolitan areas of the United
and
States,
you need the history
and you
on
need-
Nazi Germany. And this is the guy.
yeah.
Yeah. So, well, what a way to end this.
No, this has been great, man. This has been great.
It has been great.
It really has been great. I hope you guys had a good time.
I had a great time.
We got into some shit.
Yeah, no, it got deep and like
It did.
and the whiskey just kept drinking real easy.
Oh, yeah, it's a smooth. It's a
so
smooth.
fucking smooth.
It's really smooth.
Yeah, like we're gonna finish this afterwards.
Oh, absolutely.
But no, thank you so much for real for being on
Thanks
here,
for having me,
man. And we'll do the cheers now.
Cheers
you know,
now.
so.
All right.
Perfect. But everybody, Chris Dickson, I'm gonna put all of his socials down at the bottom. Are you gonna create a new social for your comedy, or
Yeah. So I just I bought the domain homegrowncomedy.com.
Perfect.
Grown like GROAN. And I'm gonna start publishing like tour dates, and also when I find other comedians, and they're doing things, we're gonna try to support them. And
Yeah,
it's just gonna be an outlet to
Okay.
try to get things.
Perfect. Well, homegrown comedy, and I'm gonna put all of his links down at the bottom, man. It was so awesome having you. Like
Such a good Friday. Such a good Friday.
Yeah, my wife this morning, she's like, "It's Friday. You know what that means?" I was like, "The weekend." She said, "It means we can drink." And I was like, "All right, fuck yeah." Well, Chris is coming over between lunchtime and 2, so I'm gonna start drinking early. So.
Right on. Well, thanks for having me, homie.
Yeah, of course, man. So thanks, guys. Take it easy.